Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised. Now, here's Loveline. 1-800-LOVE-191. With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
All right. Hey, it's Loveline. You know, I forgot that punching equipment here works.
Yeah.
I can only hear myself in my left ear, so
right.
I punched a console, and look at me now.
It's all
stereo,
the old,
baby.
What are the tubes and things there that run this organization?
No, the squirrel falls asleep every once in a while here at Westwood, too, and you got to punch something to wake him up, get him to chase that nut, get moving on the treadmill again. Let's see. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Brian McKnight is our guest tonight. Brian, we had on the TV show. It went again. There we go. Seemed like, well, I think Any Time was out when you were on the TV show, which was Brian's last record, which sold over 2 million records.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice. What is that,
good.
double platinum?
Double platinum.
You know what I was thinking about when I was driving home the other night? I heard some song, and they were talking about a record going silver, and I thought, I think records used to go silver, and then they'd go gold.
I think they go gold and they go platinum.
Well, they go gold and they go platinum now, but wasn't there a time many years ago when there was a silver as well?
Who cares?
Okay.
That was, I mean, if it was probably so long ago that...
We got a bunch of stoned 15-year-olds yelling for me to shut up. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Brian is here. He's up for a Grammy. Are you up in 2 categories?
Yeah, I'm up for 2.
You got Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. You got Eagle Eye Cherry, had him on the show. Eric Clapton, never heard of him. Brian McKnight, of course, and Sean Mullins. Now, what's your other category?
The other one is, I guess, Best R&B.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Now, who's the competition for that one? All right, I'm going to find that out. Well, whoever it is, you figure you got to win one, don't you?
Well, no, not really. You just never know how these things go. I was watching some stuff from the Golden Globes, and I think Jim Carrey put it the best. He was like, "It's better to, if you don't win, to know that you should have won, and that it's all a scam." So that's sort of the way that I'm sort of envisioning everything. You know, at the American Music Awards. Well, let's go back. MTV Awards lost to Will Smith.
Right.
AMAs lost to Will Smith twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd have him killed.
You know, so it's not a big deal. You know, I mean, I don't base my success on whether or not they give me a statue. I mean, it'd be nice to have.
Yeah.
My brother actually has 9.
Oh, he's in Take 6?
Take 6, right. So they actually shared 3 more, but they have 9 of their own. So
Jesus.
Not bad.
Yeah, now you really need one. Well,
it would be nice.
You make so much money, and you got the same last name, you certainly could just buy one of his off him.
I suppose.
I mean, you figure it was coming your way anyway. All right, let's listen to the song that Brian is nominated for. Do you have that queued up there, Brett? This is, this is Any Time, right?
Right.
All right.
That's right.
That is Any Time from Brian McKnight. Brian is nominated for 2 Grammys this time around. Drew, which ones are they?
Best R&B Vocal Performance.
And Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. And like I said, I think he's going to win at least one. Don't you think, Drew?
I think so.
Drew, do you know any of those other people in the category?
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah. Heard of him.
White guy?
I said I heard of him.
Okay, all right. You don't know any of the other ones.
Luther Vandross.
All right. Drew. Drew's rolling right along tonight. All right, Brian, you know how the show goes because you did the TV show.
Right.
Drew attempts to bore the listening audience. I see if I can provide some much-needed entertainment for the show, and I punch and criticize the equipment. Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, you're 27. What's going on?
Oh, cool. Hey, listen, I like to say long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
But listen, what I was looking for is any suggestions as far as increasing longevity in the sack.
Longevity?
Yeah, well, something safe and something preferably unnoticeable. You know, not like Banaka or something. I don't know about all that stuff.
You want to add time to your sexual experience?
Well,
or length?
Well, see, what I'm looking at, I get into it. I get overly into it.
Right.
We were talking about this last night. We were talking about this...
all right, well, we're going to test my theory.
All right.
Because I came up with the theory last night, Brian. You get very excited, right, Jerry?
Yeah.
And you get consumed in the experience, right?
Yeah.
And then the gun goes off, right?
That's it.
Right. And how long does it take?
When I'm good, it's like 8 minutes maybe.
I don't know, because that may be too long in order to work my theory. But let me ask you a question or two, Jerry.
Divide by 4.
Okay, so 2 minutes. Do you sleep heavily?
Fairly.
Fairly.
You sleep well.
You sleep well?
I get off work at 5 in the morning. I sleep through all the commotion of day, so I guess yes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
no problem sleeping.
The gardener's got the leaf blower and everything. You're awake.
Yes.
Asleep.
I mean asleep. I'm asleep too. All right. So you sleep soundly, and when you're watching TV or something, do you get consumed? Do you know what I mean? Like the phone could ring or somebody could talk to you, and you're locked in.
Yeah, I've experienced this.
So I have this theory. I'll explain it to our guest Brian. I just came up with this the other night. We deal with a lot of guys who have the premature ejaculation problem. And Drew says it's because they've become so caught up in the moment that they're sort of overtaken by the moment and they can't control themselves. And I said that never happens to me because I'm always thinking about something else. I'm never here. So I can't get sucked up into the moment. Right. I'm reliving some high school football experience when I'm making love. Too bad she isn't reliving a beautiful experience herself, but she's reliving like a sweaty, hairy guy on top of her. But the point is it adds to my length. And then I also said to Drew...
It doesn't add your length.
Well, adds to the longevity.
Your duration.
Thank you.
Nothing adds to your length.
Thank you for not letting anyone in the room think I had a longer than average
That's
penis,
right.
Drew. God bless you. So then I thought, when I try to go to sleep at night, I have the same problem. I think about a lot of stuff. I toss and I turn. It takes me an hour to fall asleep. And when I'm watching TV and a fly lands out of the corner of my eye on the windowsill,
theory.
Well, if the gun is going off too quickly, you need to remove a chamber or remove a round from the chamber so that it doesn't go off too quickly.
Oh, but listen.
Meaning you got to masturbate like a half hour before you get in the sack.
I tried this last week.
What happened?
Because you spoke of this.
Right.
So I snuck off downstairs and I took care of this. I got a video from a friend. Well, now my wife thinks I faked an orgasm because I didn't unload into her. She says that she could see the difference.
So you didn't even climax?
Yeah, I did. But she says that when I guess
how long
went to unload what I loaded.
Did you last longer?
There wasn't a lot of stuff in there.
Did you last longer?
Well, yeah, it was like I lasted longer, but she said that.
All right. Well, all right, listen, you numbskull. If you lasted longer, then it worked. But who cares about volume?
But
and why is your wife pissed off?
Because she doesn't necessarily want her to last longer.
Ooh.
See?
It's interesting.
So it's an interesting thing with couples. It's about the couple, not about the male. And he has to sort of figure out what's an optimum time for the two of them.
Yeah.
Not just for him.
Right.
It's about his male ego at this point. But if he consulted with his wife, maybe she would tell him that it's not about how long they're together.
Connie.
Hi.
Hey, you're 26.
Yeah, I was driving down to Richmond. I was listening to the tape of last night's show.
Wow, that's ambitious.
The DC station that carries you.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's kind of awful. Anyway.
What's awful? Wait, what's awful?
That they only carry a tape of you guys. We can't hear you live. We get to hear you much.
Look, it's the same boring crap. I make whack-off jokes. Drew bores everybody with medical talk.
Well, you see, we have to wait 24 hours to hear your show, though.
Yeah, all right. Well, who cares? There'll be another one.
Yeah. Anyway, so I heard this guy call about the vacuum penis pump.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking. I got this email today about a wacky sex gizmo that I thought you would laugh about, and that is a force-sensitive, sound-emitting condom.
What, in other words, when you press up against it, it makes a sound?
Yeah, it has a chip in it, and when you press up against it, it makes a sound.
What? Yeah, what sound is it?
It could record a message, I think. Hold on. It's on the IBM patent site. The guy suggested that you could have a recording congratulating the couple for using the condom or playing happy birthday.
So it's like one of those chips, like those little memo chips.
Yeah.
It gives it a two-second...
or you could have it repeat.
Yeah, but when does it play? When you put it on or when you hit the cervix?
When you hit the... let's see, I guess when you hit the cervix, because...
Now, Adam, surely you must be able to think of something creative to put on that message?
Call the gynecologist. When the thing hits the cervix, but Drew, what if you can't make it to the cervix?
When you hit the base, of the condom, there's like...
Brian, you hit the cervix? Where's the cervix, Drew?
Well,
Where's my diagram? Where my Ann, where my diagram?
Where's Drew's vagina diagram, man? What kind of producer are you?
Well,
Drew, draw the cervix.
No, Ann's going to get the diagrams for me.
Hey, you know I don't like to look at the medical
You're
stuff.
gonna
It
do
turns
it.
me off. I got pornography to look at when I get home. That ruins the whole experience for me. Drew tries to turn a woman's beautiful, sexy part into some sort of device, some sort of thing that it has some function other than sex.
Something with a blood supply. It bothers you very
please,
much, I know.
There you go again.
All
right, Drew. Drew's going to find the cervix in the book. But
right, here.
All right. Where's it?
Right there, at the end.
Oh, it's at the end?
Yeah.
Well, where's the opening?
If you put it, if you're opening.
You don't need to see the side view.
Just
Yeah,
side view.
to
If you're
get the
going,
real picture.
if you're going in here, there it is up there.
Oh, I've never been that far.
No doubt.
That's uncharted.
Yeah.
That's
for you, yes.
Yeah. Brian, I bet you've been there. Brian, you've probably been up in about the third or fourth vertebra there, right? Where do you start counting the vertebra from, Drew? Is it the bottom or the top?
That's L5 there.
Oh, L5?
L5.
Yeah, I'd say Brian probably got the L5, maybe L6.
There is no L6.
Oh, I see. You hang out with Brian, you'll find L6, believe me.
That's one.
Oh, no.
Hey, Connie?
Yeah?
All right, well, thanks for that information.
Thought you'd get a chuckle.
Yeah, I did, although I still don't fully understand the technology. I don't know if it goes off
I think the
when
idea
you
is
put it
for
on.
her. She wants to tempt you to develop some nice, creative sorts of messages.
Hi, this is Adam. Please leave a message.
No, that's my phone machine. Yeah, that would work.
That'd work.
Yeah, that set the mood. Jennifer.
Hi.
Hey, you're 24.
Hello.
You're on with Brian McKnight, by the way.
Brian, hello.
Hello.
You want to know my problem?
Yeah.
I've been married for a little over 3 years, and I have a 3-year-old son. And about 2 nights ago, I was out with a friend of mine, a girl, and we went to a town 45 minutes away from here, and I met a guy, and she met a guy, and we went back to their house, and I had sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I wanted to.
How come?
What was that?
Why? What's going on?
For about 2.5 months, I've been pretty unhappy with my relationship with my husband.
What's going on?
Basically, I can't talk to him. I try to talk to him. Actually, right after, the day after Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, there was a guy I already knew I was friends with, and we went out, and we almost had sex, but we didn't.
What'd you do?
We just touched and, kissed and whatever in my car.
She'd already begun the process.
Yeah, I know. And actually, I tried calling you guys, and I couldn't get through. So.
Hey, with these two guys you and your friend had sex with, were they roommates?
Yeah, they're roommates. She didn't have sex with the guy, though. I had sex with one guy.
Why didn't she?
You know what? That's a good question, because she's always complaining about how she can't get laid.
Is she single?
She's single, yeah.
There's a tragic irony. The married one is getting it on, and the single one is spinning 45s and making small talk in the living room.
Well, what's wrong with your marriage? What's wrong with your relationship?
I don't know what's wrong. I've been going crazy with this because I want so bad to tell my husband what I did, but at the same time, I'm so afraid. And
well, telling him what you've done is to get back at him for something.
Yeah, and see,
what are you trying to get back at him for?
Yeah, and I don't want.
What are you pissed off at him about? Of course you want to hurt him.
Oh, listen, Jennifer, you're going to tell him, and you're going to tell him because it's payback time. Now, you've been trying to tell him something that he hasn't wanted to listen to for a long time, but he hasn't been paying any attention.
Yeah.
And this is what women do. Brian, let me explain. Are you a married man?
Yeah.
All right, well, all right, that's fine. You can still use my advice. Here's how women work. When something's up, they'll want to talk about it. They'll tell you, we got to talk. And they'll give you a few of those we got to talks. But eventually, they're going to leave with one of their friends, and they're going to have sex. Now, you won't remember all the time she said she needed to talk. because you weren't paying attention. You're watching TV. But she'll tell you for the last 3 months she's been trying to get your attention, and you haven't been interested. And now she's got your attention. Now the problem is you're pissed off, and she's still pissed off, too. Now everyone's pissed off. Jennifer? He hasn't been listening, right?
No, he hasn't been listening. And actually, when I think about it, he's been like this since I've met him, since I married him. And, of course, I guess I didn't realize that or something. But
why do you marry somebody like that? Somebody who's not available?
Well, usually when, before I met my husband, I lived with my parents until I was about 18. And my dad was very, very controlling and overprotective, and I wasn't allowed to do anything. And I snuck around behind my dad's back. And
just like you're doing with your husband.
Yeah, yes, you're exactly right.
And I'm guessing your husband's probably a little controlling, too, right?
No, that's the surprising thing. He's absolutely the opposite of my father in every way.
That's the same problem, though, right? This is the flip side of the same coin.
Well, what kind of logic is that? He's 180 degrees off. That's still the same problem?
But for her, it's still an acting out around the same issues.
Yeah, she's still acting out around the same issues, but he doesn't seem to have the same
he's the same agenda.
Qualities that Dad had.
No, he doesn't.
But how great a guy could this guy be? Stupid Westwood one. How good a guy could this guy be if he's not listening to you?
I don't know.
Well, all right. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Has he ever hit you?
No.
Does he drink?
No.
He's not abusive. No, he's too good in some ways.
Oh, he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got to stir it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. We got to talk about you behind your back. Brian, I'll tell you what's going on here. Her dad was a little bit of an a-hole, right? Now, she needs an a-hole. But this guy she got hooked up with, he's a little too nice. And when a girl who needs a little chaos gets hooked up with a guy who's a little bit too nice, she'll try to work him up a little, ruffle his feathers, try to get a rise out of him because she needs that conflict. That's all she knows is that conflict that her and her dad
she's
had.
She's pissed. She hates men. She's pissed at him.
Right, so she'll go sleep with some guy in the next town. Then she's going to come back. She'll tell her husband. He'll get pissed off. And lo and behold, she'll have the conflict, the anger, and the tension that she desires, or at least needs. Right, Jennifer?
You're pretty right.
All right. So why don't you do this guy a favor?
No, the kid.
Oh, you have a 3-year-old.
I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah. Why don't you do both yourselves a favor and get some marriage counseling? Because on behalf of the kid.
We can't afford anything like that.
Hey, I'm going to do one of those good radio host lines. You can't afford not to, Jennifer.
Well, I'm not kidding, and I mean we can't afford to do that, and that's why I'm calling.
This is going to be total devastation for your husband.
I know.
Okay. It's what it's going to be.
You see, your husband's not a bad guy. You just hate all men, right?
No.
Yes.
I was raped when I was 19, and
now we're getting into
it. I was still a virgin when that happened, and so that's how I lost my virginity.
Who raped you?
An acquaintance of mine, a man that I met at college, and.
But, all right, but that's not a good argument for not hating men.
No, I know, but I've had a lot of bad relationships, and to tell you the truth, what's really ironic is that almost every single boyfriend and guy I ever went out with
cheats on you.
Cheated on me.
Of course.
Fine.
Now, it's all, you see, Jennifer, you swing from one extreme to the next.
Yeah.
You get abusive, cheating assholes, or abusers, victims become victimizers.
Yeah.
Okay, you're either the victim or the victimizer. You're not just Jennifer being intimate in a relationship. You have to act out one of these roles.
All right, let me give Jennifer just a little dose of tough love because we're running late for a break. Listen, Mommy, knock it off. You know what's going on. You know what the dynamic is. Now stop acting out. You hear me? You have a 3-year-old. You want to screw him or her up just like you got screwed up? Kid's going to be worse off than you. Now stop it. You understand me?
Yeah.
You know what the dynamic is. You know what's going on. And you know where it's going, too. When your friend says you want to have a few beers and head into the next town. You know exactly where that's going. Don't give me that crap.
I do not.
Oh, you had a diaphragm in your pocket.
No,
please.
Listen,
Please.
I drink and go. I don't go out and drink
All right.
when I'm driving. I don't do that.
Don't do it. Well, listen, you're doing something. You just said you blew into the next town and blew some guy and blew back into your town again.
I know.
A lot of blowing going on. I got to figure out where the next town over from all the loose chicks are and set up camp there. Because they always go into the next town. I always end up being in the dry town. All right, Jennifer, you have a 3-year-old. Now stop screwing things up. Don't torture your husband. This is between you and your father. You start reading some books, find Jesus Christ, and stop screwing up your kid. And don't have any more kids, would you?
I'm not.
All right. Now think about your kid. And let me tell you something. Your kid knows.
Of course.
Well, they know. They don't know exactly what you're doing. They don't know what kind of cocktail Mommy was drinking. They don't know what color the carpet was in the guy's apartment, although I'm guessing it's that rust-colored shag.
The emotional
they don't
environment.
know. All they know is Mommy screwed up, and they can feel it.
They feel the emotional environment.
Right. They're like sponges, those kids. They soak it all up. In a way, they know more because they feel it all.
Right. Jennifer's going on autopilot. She doesn't have any idea what the hell's her feelings are.
Don't worry. The kid is absorbing it, and then later on someone will ring him, and it'll all come out again. Yeah. Isn't it a great cycle? We're all moving to Canada, boys.
I think it goes on up there, too.
It does? Well, what's Alaska? Can we keep going? All right. Brian McKnight is here. He's up for a couple of Grammys, and we're going to take ourselves a little break, and we'll come back.
Loveline's phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back.
He was like a squatter. He got 40 acres and a school bus to live in. Right. Brian McKnight is here. He's up for 2 Grammys this time around. Best Male R&B, Best Male Pop Vocal. I'm going to get rid of best because I say that's assumed. I'll just go with male. Because you figure you got to be one of the best, and they're not going to nominate you. So male R&B and male pop vocal. Anytime is the name of the CD, and I guess he was on a TV show, but it's all a blur. I don't think it was our last batch that we did.
It was the previous batch.
Yeah, the previous batch.
Right. Which I want to call season, but I don't know how to do it in MTV language. John.
Yes?
You're 16.
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, my dog's fine. Sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah, okay. No, like, I'm having a problem because my dad, like, when I'll bring my girlfriends over and he bugs them too much. I don't know. And then he's scared. I don't know why, but I'm pretty tough for a 16.
Please do that.
Okay.
One of my, hold on a second. I'll talk to Brian for a second. One of the hallmarks of stupidity is not knowing where you are.
Right.
That, like you watch Cops, and the guy's got 5 warrants, and he's trying to strangle the cop, and the other cop's holding a gun on him, telling him to get down on his knees, and he won't stop strangling the other cop. And you think to yourself, how do you not know where you are? You know what I mean? Don't you know there's another guy with a gun? And don't you know when you're on the radio?
Right.
You can't govern yourself enough not to use the F and F word when you're on the effing radio? All right, John. Well, excuse you because you're 16 and the dog was distracting you.
Okay.
So do you threaten your dad or say anything to him?
No, because like when I come up to him, like he's scared because on normal for I don't know if I'm normal for my age because I'm pretty tall.
I understand, John, but do you say anything to him? You just walk up?
I walk up and say, what's wrong with you coming up to my girlfriends and touching their butt and all that?
All right, so you are a little confrontative with him. That's fine.
Yeah, because I'm 6'6".
Well, whatever. He should be afraid.
We understand you're rangy there,
John. He should be just. If you were 4 or 5, he should be ashamed of himself, and he should react a little bit.
You're 6'6"?
Yeah.
See, you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
You are the world's tallest Mexican.
No, because my dad was the tallest one in the family. He was 6'8".
6'8"?
6'8"?
He was 6'8"?
I'm Salvadorian.
Oh, you're Salvadorian?
Yeah.
Us white people, we don't know. We just we see Mexican.
I play basketball. I play football for Polytechnic High School.
Poly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to kick our ass every year. I went to North Hollywood.
Snappy hits?
Yeah.
I'm used to that.
Poly, that's a nice school.
Yeah, the home of the Parrots.
Yeah, the name of the school is the Parrots.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing. Yeah,
yeah, like there's one parrot in Sun Valley.
Sun Valley. Yeah, because like my dad touches my girlfriend when they come over to see me and all that.
All right, and you're a tall guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a tall guy.
All right, so, hey, John?
Yes.
Is your dad drink?
Sometimes, I don't know, like...
It sounds like the kind of maneuver a dad does when he's drunk, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because my mom, like, sometimes scares my dad away because my dad is short. How tall is my stepdad? 5'5".
He's the stepdad.
Yeah, my real dad, rest in peace.
Oh, your real dad, the tall dad.
What happened to him?
He hit his head on a doorway.
What happened to him?
No, because like
What happened to him?
he used to have a lot of money in Salvador, and then they came up to him and shot him.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you something. Hey, John.
What's up?
You're not one of these guys that hangs a Salvadorian flag in the front and talks about how great the homeland is, are you?
I'm
You you go over there, you get sodomized, held up, kidnapped. Anyone with more than $10 in their pocket gets kidnapped.
Yeah, when I bring my car over, and then girls come to my room and they're wearing skirts, my dad starts getting them and then lift their skirts up and
His stepdad, the 5'5" guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he's probably just walking under him.
Yeah, but he needs to be put in line. I mean, why didn't you tell your mom?
My mom, sometimes she's not home.
But why didn't you tell her what he's been up to?
But then she was I told my mom one day he was gay and all that.
He was what?
He was gay because when we go clubbing,
clubbing.
Clubbing,
Who's going clubbing?
You're 16 and you're going with your stepdad?
No, he sometimes he follow me with my own car.
Oh, John.
We've been to the arena and then.
Hold on, John. I can't tell if he's you're reading some script with every other page torn out, or what the hell is going on.
But,
now you sound sincere, but that's the only thing I can say about you. I figured out you're tall. You got a short stepdad. You're gonna do any of these girls come back? First off, what are these girls doing over there? That's like the Mexican Addams family. I mean El Salvadorian Addams family. Sorry.
Yeah. Sometimes I put my big feet up to his face.
All right. All right. That's enough.
Do what?
He puts his big feet up to his face.
What the hell's that mean?
It's the Addams Me Familia. It's the name of the new series. Hey, if there's any UPN executives listening, come on. I don't want to see that pop up in 6 months. Oh, it sounds like a circus going on over there.
It's a nightmare. I think John needs to continue to set his dad straight. He needs to tell his mom what a a-hole, out of control a-hole the stepdad is.
You know what? He's got
to coach the girlfriends to smack him or to call the police if necessary.
Girlfriends are going back for a second helping of that household.
He needs to coach the girlfriends that go there at all. That they need to be prepared to defend themselves.
He's probably having a hard enough time getting them to his house in the first place. He's got to coach them. There's a drunken midget, El Salvadorian half stepfather's going to come and goose them. Please, Drew, coach them. That's a ridiculous idea. Brian, have you ever heard such horrible advice from a doctor? Come on. He's nodding his head.
Well, obviously something...
He's just nodding off at him. Your drone has gotten to him finally.
Listen, here, you know what I can't figure out about this show night after night? These people say they have conversations, but I can't imagine what the conversation is. You know, could you imagine him and his stepdad having a conversation about, clubbing or goosing or girlfriends, or he told Mom he said he was gay?
Brian's trying to say something.
When they were going clubbing, who knows what's going on, man?
I have no idea, but no, just one thing. John?
Adam.
John, listen to me, brother.
Yeah.
You got to get good grades.
I get good grades.
Get good grades.
Get out of there.
Study like a mofo. Take your SATs, graduate, and go off to some school.
All right, that's all right.
All right, fine. Just get out of there, and until then, stay out of your drunken midget. Well, actually, it's probably not a midget in El Salvador.
Just an a-hole.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jason.
Hi.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to offend the. There's the Nicaraguans, El Salvadorians, but I just call you Mexican because I can't figure everyone out.
Oh, thank you for not offending anybody.
Well, you do it with the Asians. You got one big. Yeah, what is it? What are they all? Latino? Maybe. Is that cover everybody?
That begins to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm from in L.A. It seems like it's Mexican mostly. I've always worked with guys who are like El Salvadorian or Nicaraguan, or as I like to say, Nicaragua. They don't like to be called Mexican.
Right.
They don't like that at all.
You can say Hispanic.
Hispanic? Will Hispanic cover everyone?
Yeah.
Like Asian?
Well, I think it's a little bit trickier than...
I don't know about Hispanic.
Because Spanish...
Isn't that
Mexicans,
Spanish?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
It's not.
No, you'd have to go Latino.
See.
What? Right? Latino.
I think Hispanic covers it.
I think Latino works better.
I don't care what you think.
All right. Now, what are you guys? You African-American or black? What are we going with?
I mean, I'm just me.
That's what I like.
Subscribe to,
That's
labels.
Good. Yeah. God bless you. I go by Cracker. Jason.
Hi.
You're 20. What's going on?
I have a question about my sexuality. I feel like I'm gay, first of all. I feel like I was born that way, and I never wanted to be that way. I'm wondering, are people born that way, or what? How does it happen, and is it possible to change it?
All right. That's a pretty complicated question. Let's do it after the break.
Okay. Brian, you have any insight on this matter?
Well, the way I was brought up, now I've met people that believe that are atheists and don't believe in God.
Right.
I tend to think that because I do believe in God and the creation theory, that we are not born that way, and there's some sort of inclination that sort of happens at some point that you just choose that's the way you want to go, the same way we choose to be with women and they choose to be.
Well, it's interesting.
With who they want to be with.
Yeah, well, if you believe in God, you think, why would God create a guy who'd be with a guy? That's not going to
control the population.
That's going to work. But see, then Drew comes back with maybe God said, look, there's a lot of humping going on. Planet's getting heavy. We need a few gay guys. Straighten the place out, do a little decorating, buy the convertibles, and not have the kids.
Isn't it nice that he had to comment that he didn't wish to offend anybody?
Right. All right, we're gonna take a little break. Brian McKnight is here. Jason, we'll talk to you after break. We'll figure this whole thing out. You feel much better when we're done with you.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
Hi, this is Jesus Christ.
This is Eric Cartman. This is Kyle Broswowski.
And this is Counselor Matthews. Okay, we're from South Park.
And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
And Brian McKnight, who's our guest tonight. He's up for Best Male R&B and Grammys, and a male pop vocal as well. Up for 2 Grammys this time around. That'll be February 24th. We were just talking to Drew off the air about, as a doctor, he's not permitted to prescribe drugs to himself or to his family. And there's an ethical problem, which is you're not supposed to be able to work on yourself or your family. But my thing is take any other profession and apply it to yourself. Doesn't that work? Well, maybe not psychology. But let's take I was a carpenter. I'd do the best work I could do because it was my own house. Wouldn't you do the best you could do because it's your family? And if you're not a good enough doctor, then why do you have other patients?
Right.
And why should they trust you?
I understand that logic, but I will tell you that your judgment is just profoundly affected. Your thinking is affected by the environment in which the thinking is going on.
Police officers the same way. That's why they're not allowed to work on cases where, like, if your best friend gets killed, you can't
be biased. You're
but that's every good movie. That premise.
I can tell you how it affects me in terms of trying to care for my family, my kids. My judgment is affected the following way. They're not sick. They're not sick. It's nothing. Denial. First denial. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. I can go into denial for 3 or 4 days. Then the 4th day, I'll go, oh, my God, the fever's been 104 for 4 days. It's got to be leukemia.
Right.
Yeah, oh, my God, it's leukemia now. Right. And so I don't use my usual judgment, which is what's going on here. Think it through.
Well, that to me just means you're a bad doctor. I don't know.
It means I'm a histrionic
parent.
Yeah, crazy parent. That's what that means.
You're doing something poorly. I don't know what it is. All right, let's see. Where were we? Talking to Jason? Was it?
Yeah, Jason wants to change his sexual orientation.
So, Jason, when you came out of your mom, you grabbed the doctor's dick. You're that gay, right? I mean,
I don't think I'm that gay.
Well, I mean, you've been doing it. You were gay at a very young age.
Ever since 14, 15,
Right, but you've always felt that.
You were born before you were 14, though.
Yeah, I was born in 78.
Yeah, and the point is, how did you get the sense that you were always?
I don't know. It's kids don't. I mean, kids aren't attracted to anybody until you get to your teens. So
some gay males describe having sort of attractions, prepubescent.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an attraction to anybody until my teens, and all of a sudden, I think something's wrong because I'm looking at other, guys. And
were you exposed to any sort of sexual behavior before puberty?
No.
Nothing.
You never had any weird uncle take you into the rumpus room or anything like that? No, nothing. No, well, I'm asking. Yeah. I know it sounds like we're making fun of you, but a lot of the guys we talk to that are confused or they're Not because they're gay, but because they're gay and don't want to be gay or don't think they should be gay or
confused.
Their sexual compass is spinning around. It's because somebody got hold of that compass earlier in their life and stepped on it. But nothing like that happened. No.
Not that I can remember.
Right. You ever been with a woman?
No.
Well, that'd cure you.
Unfortunately.
And you have no desire to be with a woman?
Not really.
Now, are your parents religious?
I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. And
there you go. All right, see, this is my...
agreeing with what Brian was said, that God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Right, but this is my theory number 2, which is when folks try to force a little too much of their ideology on the kid, either the kid becomes a minister or the kid starts doing drag shows in Vegas. They go the other way. I mean, your parents, maybe you resent them a little, Jason, for pushing this too hard on you?
Not really. My parents are actually divorced now. So, but
what the hell would Jehovah say about that?
Actually, I kind of dropped out of that years ago because my whole family, I don't know, we just stopped going and stuff.
But you were raised that way, right?
Yeah, ever since like two or 3 years ago.
But that's the reason you want to change, right? That whole value system is something you...
that and the fact that I don't really fit, I don't feel like I fit in with the rest of the world, even though, I'm not the only gay person.
There's a big gay community. Why not fit in with them?
But I feel like all
right, well, here's the deal.
Oh, we should give him a job on our show. I think 3/4 of the people work on our show are gay, right?
The TV show.
Yeah.
Hook me up. No.
3/4.
7/8? Sure, that makes you gay, too. I just did the math. Hey, Jason, where do you live?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen.
That's not Phoenix.
There's not enough gays over there.
Oh,
you need a nice gay population to mingle with.
Well, I got some friends and everything, but, I mean, I don't know. It feels like I want to be normal, I feel like I'm not normal,
It's too hot over there in Phoenix to be gay, That gay sex. 2 guys. Guys sweat more than women, 125 degrees over there.
You're bumming Brian out of you,
No.
Brian is hiding his face now.
I'm saying that gay is a cold weather choice. You know what I mean? Like if I lived in Greenland or something, I'd go gay.
Turtleneck,
big hairy fat guy next to me every night.
Yeah, that's where the tradition of the dickie, the sweaters, cardigans,
right?
The attention to the neck, lest it should become cold.
That's my theory. The gay men love cold weather attire. They love those turtlenecks. Oh, and the ties, ascots. Scarves. Jason. All right,
now that Adam's done offending everybody.
All right, Drew, you got
Jason, here's the deal. Please. Jason.
Yeah.
Like with all human behaviors, there probably is some biological predisposition for this, that you are born with some predisposition in some capacity. In your case, it sounds like there may have been a fair burden in that direction. It doesn't sound like there was any dramatic environmental influence to precipitate homosexual orientation.
Yeah, see, that's what I was taught.
All right, but there are people now. I don't. The mainstream sort of view of psychologists and psychiatrists is that this is something very much ingrained into your biological system, and it really isn't something that can be changed. Just the way Adam has a fetish about large breasts, that ain't changing. That ain't changing, right? No matter how motivated you were. No, that's not changing.
No, a whole gang of Teamsters with chains couldn't dig that out of me. I'd lie to them if they beat me enough, but I'd go right back to the book.
In the right therapeutic setting, the right work we're done psychologically, possibly it might change. And that's the same thing with sexual orientation. I talked to an analyst just yesterday, and I asked her that question. I go, do you really think you can change? She goes, oh, yes, I've had several patients. They change once they get into the rage and the primitive issues of early sexual or early arrest of development. This stuff comes out and they change in certain situations when they're motivated in the proper way, but it's not what is typically considered mainstream at this point.
All right, so
and it would be incredibly
poor Jason has Jehovah looking over him while he's cruising. You know what I mean? And that I mean, what a tortured existence. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Think about what a tortured existence Jason has. I mean, I'm an atheist, so if I was gay, okay. If I were gay, I could go out and enjoy myself.
Oh, you were
Because
considering it.
I wouldn't worry about anyone looking over me.
I think you're going.
I think I am, yeah.
He made dinner for me last night. He made me embarrass me. I had a very strange feeling when he brought it up on the air last night. And then he's starting a television show with his best friend, and they're in. They are. You guys.
Yeah, we're tight. But, we're not gay yet, but there's always time. John.
Yeah.
All right. So Jason needs to just relax.
He needs to get some gay friends.
All right.
Look for the areas. Fill that space. All right.
That's my favorite TV show. John.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Well, me and my wife, we've been together 5 years, and she's gotten used to having multiple orgasms when we make love, and now it's to a point if she doesn't get them, if she only gets off once, she'll get mad at me, roll over against the wall, and won't talk to me. And I kind of told her, I was like, well, most women would be happy to get at least one, and she's not happy unless she gets 3 or 4.
She's a male.
Yeah. Hey, John, it reminds me of John like saying, when I was a kid, we'd have to walk 20 miles in the snow to get an orgasm. You don't know how lucky you have it these days.
We got to go to break.
We do?
Yeah.
All right, John. Hey, Drew, don't do that. That's my job. All right. What'd you do, fart or something?
No,
why
if you do it on
weirding out
time,
all
I
of
wouldn't have you to worry about you doing it.
All right. Brian, can you hang around for one more break?
Sure.
I know this show must offend your sensibilities.
Nah.
You're a big star. You believe in Jesus Christ, and you got a bunch of idiots talking about banging against their wife.
He's going to the Grammy Awards.
Guys going to the Grammy Awards. Just got to think about this. But just hang out one more break, and we'll see if we can. Deliver a more responsible message after this. John, we'll tell you what to do with your wife after this.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute. Loveline. Loveline. 92.1 KFMA.
Hey, it's the Loveline. We're going to take a quick 10-second station identification timeout here, and we'll be back with more Loveline in just 10 seconds.
Loveline. Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800. This is Loveline on radio station.
Illegal broadcasters.
92.1 KFMA. Green Valley, Tucson.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Brian McKnight is here. He's up for a couple of Grammys this time around. Best Male R&B and Best Male Pop Vocal. Anytime is the name of the CD. And how long have the Grammys been around now? Does anyone know? Longer than, not as long as the Oscars. 30 years?
41st annual Grammy.
41st.
Is that what it says up there? All right, Drew. Drew don't know anything, but he can sure read. That's what that should be on your tombstone.
Shrine Auditorium.
At the fabulous Shrine. A beautiful event. We were just there for the K-Rock Almost Acoustic Christmas, and we thought the place was going to fall down. It's not a new place.
No, it's not.
It's a beautiful place, but it ain't new. I'm guessing 20s, maybe 30s. All right, when we left off, we're speaking to John. John's wife is used to multiple orgasms, right?
Yeah.
Now she only has one.
Well, not necessarily.
Well,
I mean, sometimes she, if I'm not in the mood to go long enough to get her multiple orgasms, I'm tired or something, I just want to, just get it over with and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Or she'll get all mad, and, I might go 2 or 3 times and not be able to get her off in multiples, and she'll be mad at me. Then whenever I do give her multiples, she's all, oh, I love you, and all this. And
yeah. Don't you think there's something else going on in the relationship, perhaps, John?
Yeah, there could be, yeah.
What's up?
Well, I mean, we really don't, I don't guess
women
we've always had excellent sex. I mean, even when
that's all that matters.
Hated one another, we could always have really good sex.
Not necessarily a good sign, by the way.
Yeah. John, here's the deal, like we were talking about earlier tonight. Usually when there's something up, it affects the sex for a woman. Guy could have a sex, could have sex with anybody, anytime. Doesn't really matter what the attitude is. I mean, that's why guys go to prostitutes. They don't care what the person's. They don't care if they speak English. Doesn't matter to them. They're horny.
They don't care if it's a person.
No, let me tell you something, and we're coming upon this technology soon. They're going to come up with something, and you women are going to be out of work.
Not just out of work. That's it.
Out of luck. Yeah, that's it. You better start learning how to golf right now, because men ain't going to have any use for you once they perfect this technology. I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe some sort of computer-generated sex casket you climb into or something, and put some sort of 3D goggles on. But however they work it out, there's going to be trouble. Only the most committed. Only the real God-fearing guys like Brian are going to be around. The rest of us are going to take our technology and move to a nice warm climate. So, John,
yeah,
why don't you just talk to her, and don't talk to her about sex. Just talk to her about anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm guessing that her attitude in the bedroom will change when your attitude outside of the bedroom changes.
Okay.
Hey, that's good. We should end the show now.
Quick.
I think I'm going to get any better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
guys don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk. They don't want to listen. They don't want to be sympathetic. And then they wonder why things are falling apart in the bedroom. Because that's where it gets acted out. That's where you pay. And let me say this, too, guys. There's a few opportunities women will give you to belly up, like funeral. Somebody dies. You know what I mean? Even if it's a distant aunt or a grandmother or somebody they barely knew, if there's some sort of tragedy and you don't send them some flowers, or you don't turn the TV down long enough to hear what they have to say about it, you will be paid back. Also, with Valentine's Day coming up, that's another one. And I don't know when this day turned into a strictly male holiday, meaning it's time for the males to put up or shut up. But I didn't it used to be a mutual thing, Valentine's Day?
In grade school.
But never for adults? You don't think?
So, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as a guy, like, how offended could you be, Brian, if your wife didn't get you something for Valentine's Day? Would you care? Would you notice? Would it be a big deal?
Probably not, no.
That wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, if for Valentine's Day she said to you, for instance, like if she said, hey, listen, I know Valentine's Day's on a Thursday, but I got this and that going on Thursday. How about we go out to dinner Saturday? You'd go.
No problem.
Fine. Just 2 days later. Better.
Show up wherever it says on the ticket. Whatever.
That's right. And if she just handed you, she got you like a squeegee or something and said, you know, and I know it's not much, but it does have a little spray bottle attached to it. It'll be good for the windshield. I know it gets cold over there.
Right.
And I'm just thinking of you when I got it and handed it to you. What would you say?
No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
You don't care. As a matter of fact, it'd be better because take some of the pressure off of you. But
yeah, but it doesn't work the other way.
But you can't screw her day up, right?
No.
Right.
No.
All right. Yes. Becky,
Yeah.
you're 18.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
I have a question for Brian McKnight.
Oh, well, here he is.
I was really excited to find out you're on the show, and I really like your music, and I was wondering what inspires you to write your music.
Well, just about everything. I write every day. Actually, before I came to the show, I was at the studio, and I did a whole track that I have to go back now after I leave here and go back and sing. You know, I never turn the computer off. I try to take from everything that's going on around me in my life what's conveyed to me from other people, and eventually it all comes out in a song one way or the other.
But do you actually sit down and write every day, even if you're not motivated or moved, if you don't have an idea?
Always. Every day. It's like the same way I exercise and try to stay in shape, I exercise my songwriting muscle the same way.
Right.
It may be, just a melody I come up with. It may be, I don't have to write a whole song every day, but lately, it's been a song a day.
Really? And when you say sit down at the computer, how does that work?
Well, the computer's up here. See, I never write anything down. The only thing I ever write is my name. When
Really?
I'm signing stuff, when I'm doing this or that. That's really all I ever write. I haven't written down lyrics to anything in probably 6 or 7 years. Because I really feel like if it's not fresh in my mind, it's going to show.
You don't write
on
anything
tape.
down?
I don't write anything down.
I just thought of something that was funny, speaking of, because I'm like a retard. I had a loaner cell phone, and I had to go turn it in today to get my phone, which was being fixed. And my friend, Jimmy, because I can't figure out how to work the message retrieval on it, took a piece of paper about 3 inches long and wrote in very detailed instructions and taped it to the back of the phone so that I could press star, press 86, then press send, then wait, then press 1, then press pound. And he wrote the whole thing out on the back of the list. So when I was transferring the used phone, the loaner phone, to my new phone, I started unpeeling the thing to stick it back onto my new phone. And, of course, the guy at the LA Cellular place was looking at me like I was a retard. And he said, I'll just program it so you push one button, in which case he did. And then I started yelling about Jimmy. But my point is if I don't write something down, it's gone. I don't know how you do it. I mean, if you have an idea, like lyrics and everything?
Yeah, everything.
Lyrics?
Lyrics, yeah. Everything.
Wait a minute now. How do you do a whole album? Don't you have to write the lyrics down?
Does it for me. They sit with the tapes, and
right.
the ones that are on the album, or even from my publisher, they write the lyrics out. They sit down with the tape, and they listen to it, write it down.
You don't smoke pot, right?
No.
Yeah. Becky?
Yeah?
All right, that's what he does. He really, music is not an important enough thing for you to be doing. You should be working for like JPL or something, that kind of brain.
Yeah.
Becky?
Yeah?
You got any other questions for Brian?
Yeah, how can I get an autographed picture of him?
No, he doesn't write stuff. He'll think about your name.
Said he signs his name.
Oh, okay.
I'll sign my name.
You have a fan club website, something?
Yeah, there's websites. There's a fan club on the records where you can send and.
You got the record, right?
Of course.
Yeah, well, open the jacket there, and it'll.
Yeah, I was looking through, and I didn't see anything on there exactly. There's the website for Mercury Records on there.
There you go.
Would I just go there?
All the information is there.
But
okay.
You're going to actually sign it, right? I mean, you're not going to stamp.
No, I actually do sign.
Okay.
I do sign.
Once in a while, like once a month, the publicist brings a stack of stuff over.
Well, there was one night in London where they sent 700 that I had to send back the next morning. So, I mean.
Right. All right. And I'm sure each one is heartfelt, too, Becky. Now, you'll remember Becky, right? Where are you calling from, Becky?
San Francisco.
Fine. All right. Becky from San Francisco.
Becky from San Francisco. Okay.
All right, Becky.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Amy.
Yep, I'm here.
You're 21.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Well, in my normal everyday life, I'm a bit of a control freak. I like having power. I like having responsibility. But when it comes to the bedroom, lately I've been fantasizing about being dominated. And it's almost to the point of, like, sadomasochism.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this is a healthy sort of release from having to be in control all the time.
Well, wait a minute, Drew. Whenever we talk to one of these dominatrix, they always say that all their clientele are these big businessmen type, these tycoon types who basically, merge companies and crush companies and fire people all day. And then for their release, they want some fat chick in stiletto heels to kick their ass for 45 minutes. And they want what they don't have. And they want some sort of sexual payback or something for this domineering life that they're leading. So maybe Amy is sort of the female version of what I just said.
I mean, the theory is that it's acting out some sort of death and resurrection, or parent, good child, good parent, bad parent. Very remote, primitive stuff that if it becomes a sticking point in your sexual expression, will become a fetish and you won't be able to function without it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't had a partner yet hasn't taken place yet. I haven't found a partner yet who is willing to do this with me, but
really?
I think about it constantly, and I don't know, I want to be told what to do when...
Were you physically abused when you were younger?
No.
No one ever struck you?
No.
Growing up?
No.
Dad, you like your dad?
Yeah, enough. Yeah, I live with him right now. I moved back home recently.
How come?
I was up at school at college, and I ran out of money, and I had to move back home to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I think this whole control thing, the whole need of having power, and it could be like as easy, as simple as needing the remote control to having control over a conversation. It pretty much happened after my parents got divorced, and I'm not sure that has anything to do with it.
How old were you when your parents got divorced?
Quite honestly, I can't remember. 7th or 8th grade. I can remember my friends.
Right. What did you witness before they got divorced?
Fighting.
Did that go on for a long time? Did that go on for a long time?
Yeah, for a while.
Did they actually physically fight?
Not that I saw. It usually was at night, and my bedroom was by theirs, so I could hear them screaming, yelling, and I heard all the fighting. And as they were breaking up, and they kind of used me more as a sounding board than treating me as a daughter.
But don't you think that the fact that this came on during this whole traumatic incident has something to do with what it's an expression of?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really do.
So it's not a healthy
sort of
thing.
felt like you lost control when
not a
their
healthy
parents
thing.
are going at it.
Well, no, but I have 2 younger sisters, and I felt like I had to take care of them and take care of my parents, and
All right, that's not a healthy thing.
no,
Is your dad an alcoholic? Is your dad an alcoholic?
No,
Mom?
no. And this is something I've realized, and I've been working through for the past couple of years, and I've let go quite a bit, but
Of what?
of needing to have control and needing to take care of everybody.
Well, what about these fantasies? You haven't been able to find a guy who would beat your ass a little bit?
No one.
Really?
They're all too afraid to tell me what to do. Or I asked them.
Where were you going to college? Where Drew went to college?
I was up in Madison.
Wisconsin. That's what his accent is.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm
University of Wisconsin.
You can't find one of those cheeseheads to beat your ass a little bit? I can't believe that.
Badgers.
Oh, the Badgers.
Right.
Yeah, just the name of the mascot alone is Badger. Whether it's the animal or just badgering somebody, it seems like the kind of animal wouldn't mind smacking you around a little bit.
Well, I come off like I've been told that I'm intimidating. Men have told me that I'm very intimidating because I.
Are you big? You a big gal?
Well, I'm a little overweight, but I'm tall too.
Oh,
But nothing overly so. Like
Yeah.
20 pounds maybe.
All right. You can scare
But
guys sometimes.
I could. She'd probably be pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And that can be, no matter whether
the
you're.
problem with guys is they want to think everything's their idea.
No, but anybody that senses aggression is not going to be sort of open to that unless there's something wrong with them.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So,
I can see that.
all right, so, Amy, here's the deal.
Okay.
You have some pretty good insights, right? I mean, you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have some impulses or some compulses, and you haven't really acted on them.
Right.
So why don't you just explore it a little more and see where it goes? But you don't have to act on it. I mean, everybody, you don't have to act on everything you feel like doing.
Also, there might be
Everyone
healthy ways
get a lot of feelings
to
in
deal
this
with her
world.
aggression, and there might maybe think through where this aggression is coming from.
Tybo.
All right, that's
For Christ's
fair.
sake, I do Tybo in my underpants every night.
You do not.
3 in the morning, I sit on my sofa. I got
a big window.
I got a beer in one hand, a cigarette in the other, and then all of a sudden, here comes Billy Blanks on there. Well, wait a minute. Sinbad says it works. Sinbad? Sinbad's a fat ass. Sinbad. Whatever the hell Sinbad's doing, I ain't doing it. If it involves Tybo, I'm just going to sit on my sofa. But I watch these commercials. I don't know why they run these motivational things at 3:30 in the morning. I get really pumped up about doing something, but I go, oh, it's 3:30. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow rolls around. Screw that. Green Acres is on. I'm not doing it. They really run these Tybo commercials at about noon when I'm ready to do something. Drew, you don't watch TV when you get home.
I don't watch TV. Period.
This goddamn Tybo commercial is, have you seen this?
No.
It's on 4 or 5 channels. And they have everybody on there giving testimonials. He's basically doing like Kung Fu aerobics.
Yeah.
But, or you switch to another channel and some guy's got the Bowflex. Have you seen this thing? It's a bunch of bows, like a bow and arrow. And they hook pulleys onto it.
Right.
Then they got Chuck Norris over there with Christy Brinkley. Yeah, I'm sure Christy Brinkley's working out on a $129 rollout Abflex machine that slides under the bed. These people all have trainers and dietitians.
A gym in their house.
Calculus. Yeah, oh yeah.
Full service.
Oh, please. Ridiculous. All right, where the hell were we? I don't know. What the hell got me onto the Tybo? Jenna?
Yes.
You're 19.
Yeah.
You see that Tybo commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty motivating.
Oh, my God, Engineer Mike's here.
Sold 1 million copies.
Look at that.
Speaking of Tybo, here comes Engineer Mike. Mike almost put the bong down last time the Tybo commercial came on.
I got to tell you, I may have gone to a King's game, but I sat next to Dick Butkus the whole way. It was cool.
Oh, really? You're sitting in the forum next to Dick Butkus? All right. There's a guy. I remember when my neighbor told me...
What do you think about Engineer Mike sitting next to Dick Butkus? How many seats they would need to be comfortable?
Oh, please, don't make fun of Engineer Mike. Yeah, that's right. Screw Drew. He's a doctor. You don't make fun of a man's condition. Sorry, Mike. Here's my point. When I was about 9 years old, my neighbor came over who was a little bit older. His name was Eddie. He said to me, there's a dude in the NFL This cat's name is Dick Butt Kiss. I went, get out of town. I swear his name is Dick Butt Kiss. When you're 9 years old and you got some guy looking at you telling you there's a guy named Dick Butt Kiss.
You're laughing your ass off.
I'm going, I'm not believing it.
Yeah.
No way am I believing it. And then the fact that he's, an all-star linebacker, no possible way.
I got to tell my kids.
You got to tell your kids there's a guy named Dick Butt Kiss.
Already they just...
You wouldn't say that in his presence.
No, hell no.
Yes.
No, he's scary.
a big guy. Yeah.
No, listen, when I'm not watching Tybo commercials, I watch that Sports History channel, and I see the footage. There's a great shot of him picking up a guy who still thinks he's on the ground. His feet keep moving, like when you lift a dog up in the pool and it's swimming, his feet keep moving, and he just threw him on his back. The guy was an animal. Jenna?
Jenna?
Yes.
What's going on?
Hello?
Hi, what's up?
Hi. Well, my husband, he left about 4 or 5 months ago.
For what? Why?
He's in the Coast Guard,
Okay.
and his boat left.
How long had you been married when that happened?
About a year and a half.
Did you know he was going to leave?
Oh, yeah.
You got married when you were 17?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, how old is he?
He's 21.
All right. All right, what's your question?
Well, about a month ago, he called me from Australia, and he was like, if you ever get frustrated or whatever, you can just, if you see a guy that you want to have sex with, you can just go ahead and do that.
Because, after all, he's just doing the same thing.
Or a girl. And he, really stressed the girl part,
Sure.
But he's saying, you can have sex with whoever you want, and then just tell me about it. It'll turn me on, and then
Was he an idiot? He's an idiot.
I'll be all horny when I come home, because it'll turn me on when you tell me about it.
For there's only two possibilities here. And the 80% probability is he's doing his thing out there somewhere.
Well, see...
well, hold on a second.
The other probability is that he is just all screwed up about his sexuality and thinks it will turn him on, and he's the kind of guy, and you get back, you tell him, he'll become enraged and start physically
he'll get
abusing
hostile.
you. Yeah.
Well, see, I thought both of those things, except that, he's always been so, against cheating on women, and he's never cheated on any girl that he's ever been with, even before me. And it's like, if you saw the girls on his boat, you just know there's no way.
He does touch land, doesn't he, once in a while?
Not that much. And when they do, it's just for, a day.
I thought when you're in the Coast Guard, you got to do localized stuff. Don't you go out and, like when celebrities get drunk and crash their fishing ships into rocks, don't you go help them? Like Johnny Carson gets loaded and falls off
That's what most of the
Michael Landon's old boat or something?
Yeah, that's what most of the Coast Guard is. But
Well, why is he going to Australia?
Well, he's on one of the biggest boats.
He's on the big one.
Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
Oh, well, listen, tell those idiots, we pay you to guard our coast, not Australia's.
I
don't give a
know.
rat's ass what's going on over there. You guard our coast. What are they doing over there?
Leaving his wife. I hope you don't have
Some
kids.
guy smuggling some the kiwi.
He
Please.
How many kids do you have?
I have one.
Oh, for crying out loud.
That's too many. You're actually kidding a hole. If you had another, then it'd be too much. All right. Hey, Jenna, listen to me, screwball. I want to argue with Drew for just 1 second. Brian, I know you agree with me, because it's almost time for you to leave. Here's the deal. If this guy's the kind of guy who's screwing around on Jenna, think about guys who screw around.
Yeah.
Guys who screw around don't have that, I'm doing it so you can do it, too. Guys who screw around have that, I'm getting some, you better not be looking at anybody.
Yeah.
They go doubly hard the other way, Drew. You know what I'm talking about here. I understand your theory, and it's decent on paper, but if he's the kind of guy who's screwing around behind her back, he's jealous and don't want her looking around. So strike that one.
He's not the typical guy because he spent his whole life being a man of virtue, and now he's suddenly screwed up.
Yeah,
he's trying to
I don't buy
that.
the whole Old Spice thing. This is not the Old Spice, man. Jenna.
Yeah.
This whole marriage is a disaster.
It's a mess, yeah.
Right?
It's trouble.
Well, I
Sure.
don't think so, because
I
it's
think
great
so.
when he's here, and I love him, and I...
All right, well, get him back.
We've known each other since elementary school.
All right, well,
not necessarily a good thing.
No, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Listen, here's what I want you to do. Next time he calls you and says you can do whatever you want with anybody, why don't you say, well, listen, we're married, I'm committed to you, and I don't think that would be good for the relationship. We have a child, let's try to...
I've said that.
And what does he say?
He says,
Well, I don't see it as cheating on me because I told you can do it, and if you tell me about it, then you're not cheating on me. And it's just getting physical pleasure. It's nothing to do with your heart or your anything.
Yeah, wait till he gets crabs.
Wait till she gets attached to somebody.
Yeah. Listen, that ain't going to work. Jenna, don't be stupid.
No, I
Come
know.
on now. And take care of your kid, would you?
I do.
No, don't carry on this way. I don't have any more kids. All right?
All right.
All right. He's going to take this out on her. If she said when he got back in from wherever the hell he was out wasting our money with that Coast Guard ship and came back into port and saw her and she said, guess what, I was with a couple of guys while you were in Sydney, he'd be pissed.
He'd be
Now, it might turn him on a little sexually, and guys do this. I mean, guys all had this fantasy, right? Thinking about your woman with another guy. They've done that before. Come on, Brian, don't make me the only weirdo here. So you've thought about that, haven't you? You know what I'm talking about? Not to the point.
Well, actually, Adam, no.
No, come on. Now. I know. Maybe your wife's listening. No, I don't mean while you're with them or next week or anything like that. But most guys, by the time they get married, their woman has been with another guy before them. And sometimes guys think about that, and they don't like it. They don't like it at all. But there's a part that's kind of something titillating about it. You're not with me at all on this one? You know what I'm saying?
I think pretty much when you think about your woman with somebody else, red flags, period.
Yeah, all right,
red flags.
You're pissed off just across the board.
Yeah, I think
but there's not a part of you that thinks about it in a little naughty kind of way ever. You know what I'm saying? Not that you want to see that guy again, not that you want her to talk about it, not that you wish you couldn't erase it if that was possible. But it is done, and you know about it, and you think about it a little bit once in a while. They never think that way.
No, I think it's always the other way. It's
All right.
always,
Yeah, me too.
that it would be okay if I go out and do my thing, but no.
All right,
You
so
can never.
I think this guy's either a mental patient or he's going to hold this against him. All right, Brian is going to go back to the studio and finish recording what he was recording before he stopped to come over here, and we do appreciate you taking time out. Brian McKnight, Anytime's the name of the CD, and best of luck at the Grammys.
Thank you.
Good seeing you again. We'll be back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline will be right back.
Loveline on 92.1 KFMA.
Hey there, it's the Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LOVE 191. Brian McKnight took off, went back to the studio. Nice guy, that Brian McKnight. Where the hell were we here, Drew? I want to talk to, Aurora?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, you're 18.
Yep, I just wanted to have a comment for you guys.
All right.
You know how you're talking about Dick Butkus
Yeah.
and, like, bad names and stuff?
Yeah.
There's also a guy in racing. His name is Dick Trickle.
Yeah, NASCAR.
And a guy that graduated from the high school that I go to, his name was Gaylord Horny.
Really?
Seriously.
My parents had a couple friend named Richard and Ruby Dick.
Really?
That's special.
It's so good, yeah. I mean, when your last name is Horny, do you got to name the kid Gaylord? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I wouldn't have chosen it.
Or Trey.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the last name is something that a lot of people don't have a lot of choice in, but certainly the first name, they do. And I understand there's probably some grandparent or uncle or some guy who fought in the Civil War named Gaylord, but then you make the guy's middle name Gaylord.
That's what I was going to say.
Now, my my old roommate was, his last name was Cox, C-O-X, but his middle name was Downs, okay? So it becomes a sentence. Whatever the first name, whether it's John, Larry, or Bob, it becomes Drew Downs Cox, which is not a great combo.
That's mean.
Yeah, although in that case, you don't want to go Downs with the first name. because then your name is just Downs Cox.
Nice sound effects.
Yeah, that ain't right. So, Gaylord Horny.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Geez, I'm trying to think if I knew any guys. Thanks, by the way, Aurora.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to think if I. Dick Trickle's a good one. There's a few other good ones out there. I'm trying to think. And NASCAR's so screwed up, though. Everyone's got some bizarre name. Every third guy's named Rusty. Everyone else is named Dale. And it's a real good old boys thing. And it doesn't seem to it doesn't seem to be as funny over there.
Geez, we're going into the heart of that territory on Saturday.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Love NASCAR. Jenny.
Yeah, hey.
You're 19.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
I tripped on acid like a day and a half ago, and I'm still tripping, and I heard it only should last like 12 hours, so I'm kind of scared. I'm scared it's never going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to trip until I'm like 90, because then I'll be some old lady seeing rabbits talking to me and stuff.
Was this the first time you'd done acid? No.
Yes.
Yes?
The gel tab.
Was it the first time you've ever done acid?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Hey, is this one tab?
Yeah, it was just one little gel tab.
What's a gel tab?
I don't know the difference between a gel tab and a tab.
It's the same thing. I just like gel tab.
A tab is a piece of blotter paper with the acid on it, right?
It was like a gel tab. It was like a thingy with like stuff in it. It was like...
All right, listen here.
It's like a vitamin E capsule.
Listen here, Stoner. Stop saying gel tab unless you're going to explain gel tab.
Okay.
What did it look like? Like a vitamin E capsule?
A little bit like that. I don't really remember. I didn't really look at it. I just...
All right, so but here's what I'm saying. It wasn't on a piece of toilet paper.
No.
No. It was in a capsule.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the gel tab. All right, so you did one of those.
Uh-huh.
It's been a day and a half.
Yeah.
And you're still freaking out.
Yeah.
But as much as you were a day ago?
Yeah, there's like a leprechaun sitting on my bed talking to me like right now, and it won't shut up.
Well, now that could be there.
Well,
wait a minute now. Hold on, Drew. Jenny, are you telling me... All right, Mike with the leprechaun. Are you telling me that you feel the same way now, a day and a half after you took the gel tab, that you did 2 hours after you took the gel tab?
Exactly.
Exactly the same?
Yes. I can't sleep at all.
Is that possible, Drew?
Oh, yes.
I understand there's residual effects and long-lasting effects, but to have it to be that same intensity for a day and a half?
It's unusual.
That's unusual.
That is unusual. And there's two things that come to mind for me. One is that this may be a form of the syndrome which has been called the post-hallucinogenic perceptual disorder, which is where people stay kind of locked into a high. Usually it's a milder version than what Jenny's describing. It's like being locked in kind of a dreamlike state. And people describe a sense of fear that it's going to go on forever. They start getting panicky, then they get depressed, and they get profoundly depressed, and they get really disabled by that syndrome very commonly. In Jenny's case, she's having still overt hallucinations, which is usually not part of that syndrome. So it makes me wonder if perhaps she didn't trigger another psychiatric disturbance from the acid, or God knows, maybe there was something very, very strong about this particular delivery system.
All right, so what should she do?
She needs to call a doctor. It's important, because this is bad news. This is not good. There's the people that have this kind of protracted syndrome that end up having trouble psychiatrically, sometimes permanently.
Easy or something?
Hey, Jenny.
Hey.
Yeah, you need to go talk to a doctor now.
Doctor?
Yeah, it's important, Jenny.
You mean like real doctors and stuff?
Yeah.
No, a leprechaun doctor. Listen, Screwball, I know what it's like to be high.
Yeah?
And I know you're seeing certain things.
Yeah.
But you know you took the acid, and that's why they're there.
Yeah, but is it going to, like, stay like this forever? And
Well, you never know. That's why you got to talk to a doctor.
You may need some medication to bring this down.
Okay.
All right, and it is important because, as I said, people that have these protracted or persistent perceptual difficulties often have persistent problems with depression.
Right. All right. Sherilyn.
Yes.
Hey, you're 36.
Yes, I am.
Well, you sound fairly lucid for one of our callers.
Well, this is actually the first time I've ever called. I listen to your show a lot. I really enjoy you guys a lot.
Thanks.
I had a comment about the gentleman who phoned in regarding his wife was having multiple orgasms, but then she was only having one orgasm, and she was upset about only having one orgasm.
Right.
And he had admitted to the fact that he was not spending as much time with her in the sack, basically.
Well, anywhere. He just wasn't even paying attention to her.
He said he didn't. Yeah, he said he didn't listen to her much.
Exactly. But I listened to the whole commercial break because I wanted to see what you guys said about the fact that she was upset that, gee, I only have 1 orgasm instead of 4 orgasms. And instead of going on about the fact that, she's still having 1 orgasm now, and he is admitting to the fact that, he's not spending any time with her. You got on him about, well, you need to spend more time with her, you need to talk to her more, and then she'll, well, maybe he should spend more time with her in bed as opposed to the other. But what about the fact that, maybe he's... Oh, God, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, and Sherilyn, you weren't captain of the speech and debate squad in college, were you, baby? No, I don't think so. Now, listen here. We got on him for not listening to her and being attentive to her needs.
Well, whatever they might be.
And we're not quite sure what your argument is.
The point is, you could tell by talking to that guy that he was not a empathic fellow. And the only way those two could express themselves to each other were sexually. And when he wasn't doing it just the way she needed it, she'd become furious and wounded.
But what was your point? I mean, what would you have liked us to told him?
Well,
or tell him?
I don't know. Instead of she was still enjoying the sex, maybe not enjoying it as much. Even though he said that I'm not spending as much time with her.
He said, He said if it's one time, she would roll to the corner and sulk and be furious with him, and that they couldn't. Then he'd get angry, and the relationship.
Hold on, let's try to get to the bottom of this. Sherilyn, you haven't had an orgasm in 6 years, right?
Untrue.
When's the last time you had an orgasm?
Oh, probably a few days ago.
All right, so you're orgasmic.
Yes.
And I know you're a little bit nervous and a little bit flustered. You're not accustomed to speaking on the radio. I understand that. But I'm still trying to get from you what your point is. How would you have liked us to handle the call?
Well, it was more of I was listening to see, an answer as to why would a woman be upset having just 1 orgasm instead of having 4?
That's the point.
You wanted our answer to that?
Yeah.
Our answer
was it's not about the orgasm. He's not listening to her outside of the bedroom.
They're not connected to each other emotionally, and the only communication source they have is this physical modality that had to be perfectly met in a way that was gratifying to her, or the whole circumstance broke down into hostility and she felt wounded.
Sherilyn, what's wrong with you? You couldn't. You want to pick a bone with that answer or that advice?
I guess I did. I guess I did.
Listen, goofball. The husband calls and says, "I used to give my wife multi-orgasms. Now I only give her 1, and she's pissed off about it." We say, "Well, do you listen to her? Are you present outside of the bedroom?" He says, "No, not really." We said, "All right, well, why don't you get present outside of that?" And she'll probably be back to the multi-orgasm. And it wasn't about how many orgasms. It was about how hostile she was in the bedroom.
Okay, I missed the point.
All right there, Sherilyn. We want you to keep listening, though.
Okay.
But never call in again.
All
right. Thank you. Please. Everybody. No one makes a point on this show.
Let's go to break.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You ever notice whenever someone calls in, I love a call who has a beef. By the way, I love to talk to people. I want to talk to the people who take issues with what we're saying, because we're an open book.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly willing to explain myself to anybody who wants to call in, and I know Drew welcomes that too. We want to get into that kind of dialogue, but please have an angle when you call in. Do you know what I mean?
Have a thought-out position.
Think it out, take a beat, and then call in, and we'll be more than happy to get into it with you. All right, when we come back, we'll talk to Mike, who's 25, thinks he knows why the caller's hubby said she could sleep around. Oh, this is interesting, the one who's in the Coast Guard. But that marriage ain't going to last another 10 minutes, please. Married at 17. All right, we'll debate that after this.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
the Loveline. Telling Drew I was in a Hollywood-type meeting today over at the Fox lot with, I never remember any of the companies, but these guys, they do a lot of big movies. They did Something About Mary. That was their last big hit. So I'm meeting with one of the executives over there. Wants to talk about movie ideas. Started... I've become hostile at these... well, Drew, you know who I am, right?
Yeah.
But I'm worse now.
The way you basically at him is hey, hire me.
No.
Good night, I'm going home.
No. Here's what I do at these meetings, because these Hollywood jackholes, they just waste everyone's time. We got to turn snacking into a effing sport. Oh, they talk round and round and round. Everyone else is it. Meanwhile, they're giving development deals to everyone in town. And I just say to them, listen, I'm a genius. Now, you can get in business with me now, or it'll just bite you in the ass
Did you
later.
tell him that? You didn't say that. You said that.
I called my partner, and he said, how'd the meeting go? I said, went good. He goes, you didn't give him the I'm a genius line. I said, yes. As a matter of fact, I did. I just sit at these things. I look across at the people, and I go, listen to me. You can make this project that I'm talking about, or you can not make it. But if you don't, it will haunt you. And believe me, I'm a genius. I'm funnier than any of the other idiots you're dealing with. And I'm telling you, either get in business with me or screw it. And it's not quite that hostile, but there's cussing and stuff going on.
So what happened to this one?
Well, this one was interesting because I got a movie. We have a movie premise that we really like that involves Gallagher, the comedian. And as I've expressed time and time again on this radio show, when we go around town, I keep running into executives, high-paid folks who are developing comedy for a living, who are not aware of the prop comedian Gallagher. People who head up major companies, comedy development companies, people whose last projects were working with the Fairley brothers on Something About Mary, who are guys in their 30s who say, who is Gallagher? And you go, you probably don't remember his name, but you'd sure know him. He's got that cabbie hat and the big bushy hair and the mustache, and he takes that Sledge-O-Matic out and he smashes those watermelons. I don't know who you're talking about. Then my problem is I'm done. I'm on the 8th executive, and I'm pissed.
Did that happen today?
Well, here's what happened today when it was real close. There was 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the guy knew who Gallagher was, and the chick didn't know who Gallagher was, but I didn't know she didn't know.
Oh, no.
And I started getting launched on...
executives that didn't know.
I said it is... negligent for people at this level not to know who the highest grossing comedian of the effing 80s was. And as I was getting going on my tirade, he stopped me and he said, I won't use her real name, Barbara, do you know who Gallagher is? And she went, no, I don't. And he sort of tactfully explained it to her before I'd gotten too much steam going. Although I did say to her, if I go out to the guard shack and ask the guy who's handing out the
parking passes,
yeah, he will know who Gallagher is. I don't know if she took that in a good way or a bad way, but I'm done. So I just yelled at them. But the point is after yelling at them for a while, they said, Loveline the movie.
Ooh.
I said, huh? I said, yeah. They said, listen, all the movies that are making money, this Varsity Blues and these Scream movies, he's saying there's all these movies that they don't cost anything to make, and they're making tons of money. They also did The Siege, I think, which was $90 million and didn't make it back.
By the way, that doesn't cost anything to make is referring to you and I.
Well, what I'm saying is the notion these days is why spend $100 million on a mega special effects, have to shut down Manhattan for a working day to film blah, 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 when you can get the biggest star in Varsity Blues is the guy from Dawson's Creek. They probably got him for a song. You get a bunch of other unknowns. You put it together. You put a cool soundtrack. You film the whole thing in Mississippi or something at a high school, and it's the top-grossing film of the last 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So.
This is their new angle. So he said, I know the young people. They listen to you. I said, oh, no. They watch you, they listen to you. And that's who they're going after. Well, who the hell's watching the Varsity Blues, right?
Our listeners.
Really? Yeah. Our listeners. All right,
Our
Drew.
viewers.
So, start thinking.
Is it...
You want to put something together.
Was Howard there?
No, it's just me alone.
Did you tell Howard?
No.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
So, anyway. So, they said they're going to... I said, they got a writer and another guy. I said, well, send him by the radio studio and let him hang out with us. Have a see what ideas he has. I wonder who'd play Anne. I think like Elle McPherson.
I would.
Oh, yeah, Anne would. Yeah.
Please.
Jim Belushi for me.
Mike.
In one of his movies, he played a guy named Dooley. It's very
really?
fitting, yeah.
All right. I'll go with that. I was trying to think of who was Servino.
Mario Servino?
No, Paul Servino. Yeah.
I'm going on a diet tomorrow. That's it.
No, I mean, it's because he's a versatile actor. Please, Mike.
Yes.
Now you're 25.
Yeah. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
I know the story with this guy in the Coast Guard.
Right. Yeah. This guy, by the way, calls his wife when he's out in Australia and says it's okay if she has sex with other guys or other women. He won't be mad. It'll just make him that much more excited when he gets back. We don't trust that, but you say you know why.
Right. I've been through this myself. My life story would fill up your 2-hour show, so we won't get into mine, but this guy doesn't want anything to do with his girl anymore. All he wants, I think, is to get custody of his kid. So he wants his wife.
Ooh, cheat.
So he could have something against her.
Oh,
when
that's interesting.
I agree with you. I think he wants something against her. I don't think it's that contrived.
Diabolical.
I don't think he's not smart. He's in the Coast Guard, for Christ's sake. He's not an admiral. I don't think it's that well thought out, but when he finds out, he will push her away, and that's his way of doing it. All right, let's see if we can... who's been on hold for the longest time? Line 1?
Line 4. Line 1 and 4.
Oh, please. Hey.
Heather.
Hey.
25. You got an update?
Yeah.
You got you have a violent nature?
Yeah, and I tried to avoid it for a very long time. I guess I'm not willing to admit to it, really.
Yeah.
And I just, I was pissed off at my children today. They're going to be 2 next Wednesday. I have twin girls. You made fun of their names.
Well, what are
Last time I called.
Heckle and Jackal?
Raven and Naya.
Right.
Raven being Native American for a magical bird, and Naya being...
Heather,
what's the
but
question? You know the irony of those names? The chick's working, she's working at a car wash, and you're going, it means emperor of all I survey. And it's like, okay, hand me the chamois, honey.
It's all right. I can deal with that.
All right.
I love the names I chose.
You love the kids.
But I had this moment where I was just so completely, totally, and utterly frustrated. I didn't strike out at my children. I didn't do anything violent to my children. But I just had this moment where I just completely lost it and completely left my apartment because I was just so angry.
Hey, Heather, we understand you were pissed off, but we're out of show. This
also has to do with I then all of a sudden went into this backswing of my sister where
You've got to call social services, Heather. You left your children alone in the house.
No, I didn't leave. I just went outside of the building.
I see.
I just walked outside of the building, stood outside.
All right.
Calmed down.
Good. Where's your husband?
I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
My children.
All right, listen, take care. Heather, we're out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's get her number. We'll call her back.
We need you to take care of your kids, though, right?
Ann, get her number. Her and Lance. Hold on a second. Hold on, Heather. Lance and Heather, we can talk to them next week. So.
All right. Well, we'll be back.
And Mark, too.
Take a little break.
All right.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
the Loveline.
And we're done.
I want to thank the fabulous Sherry for doing the work of two women on the phone board screener thing there. I want to thank Ann for doing the work of two men. Producing the show, booking the show, wearing many different hats. The angular one, producer Ann, the Tybo queen. And, of course, Engineer Mike, who meanders in here on a good beer high. After it's a good thing the Kings didn't go into OT, by the way. He would have never made it in here tonight.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
He's always got his finger on the button. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Mommy! This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment.
Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle.
Now, please listen to this station longer.
Illegal broadcasters.
92.1